Afternoon to you, Mr. Marais. Let's begin first with your assessment of the Minister's handling of the events around Mr. Khosa's passing and the release of the two reports, the first from the internal inquiry and this one from the Ombudsman. Why are you so unimpressed with her?
Well, you know, that's a big question. I mean, initially when she came out and she reported to us in Parliament that was only an interim report, that was a concern to us, because how can she support that? And then when we saw her affidavit, which was very clear and is still very clear, that she has basically supported the findings of the investigation by the SANDF, which then exonerated those soldiers. So that was a very strange thing for her. And then to say, unfortunately, I mean, she's done the right thing. And after I have put pressure on the Ombudsman, because I have put in the initial claim for which I was given an official claim number, a case number. So fortunately, she then instructed, the military ombudsman to do a further and a proper investigation. And this report is now an outcome of that. Now, yes, last night on ENCA was the first time I've put in many questions and asked her whether she was misled, whether she was undermined, whether there was third forces going on, on this matter in the Defence Force. She refused to answer those questions, but what she said last night was the first time that she admitted that she was misled. Now, that is giving us more questions than answers, because how could she sign an affidavit confirming, all those things, and then afterwards claim that she was misled? Did she not read that? How did it happen that she was informed by the Chief of the Defence or other generals or senior people that it's okay to sign it? I mean, did she not understand that? We sit with a serious problem. You remember that some of the generals have said that they only report to the Commander-in-Chief, which is the President, and that even Parliament is not their client. So it poses the question whether the Minister is really in control of them, and whether the Minister is throwing them under the bus or whether they are throwing the Minister under the bus. But there needs to be accountability, and we need to restore the discipline in the Defence Force so that we are protected and not seen as the enemy.
And Kobus, you referenced the conversation I had with the Minister about the Ombudsman's report on ENCA yesterday. I did ask her about her admission on the channel that she had been misled, but she would not comment on who had misled her and if any action was being taken up against an individual or individuals. What is your sense on that score?
Well, what we know is that the Minister of Defence, and she has basically said that last night where she wrote to the Chief of the SANDF, that's General Choki, and we also know that the military ombudsman, with the initial complaint that I've submitted, they've referred the matter to the Chief of the SANDF. Now, whoever has done that on behalf of General Choki, I don't know, and he must come clean on that. But what we know is that there was communication between the Minister and the Chief of the SANDF. Now, if they have given the authority to some more junior people to deal it on behalf of them, that is irresponsible and that is unacceptable. And then there must be accountability. We cannot expect from the soldiers to be disciplined and then neither the Minister nor the Chief of the SANDF, display similar type of discipline that we expect from our soldiers. I mean, it's no wonder we sit with all these challenges, because clearly soldiers think that they can get away with it.
Do you get a sense, Kobus, that Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula is on top of things in the Defence and Military Veterans Department?
Well, clearly, there was questions in the past, and there was, underlying signals and signs of a possible difference between her and the senior generals. But this is probably the most clear signal and confirmation that we have ever seen. How can you have a situation where Minister of Defence claiming that she's thrown under the bus by the Chief of the SANDF and his senior staff, of whom are legal people? And surely in the Ministry of Defence, in her ministry, she has got advisors She has got legal people. How was she advised to do that? And they claim that, she didn't know what she was doing, that she was misled. That is just unacceptable. And it just sounds too good to be true. So someone needs to be accounted for this. It's either her or it's the senior generals in the army. We cannot go on like this. We are not complying with the Constitution. That's the bottom line. We cannot go on like this.
Quick final one then, Kobus. You say in your statement the DA will be relentless in ensuring those responsible for Collins Khosa's death are held to account. To what lengths will you go to?
Well, to whatever is required. I think so far we have proven our bona fides that even when they came back and they didn't want to investigate it further, we said, sorry, it's unacceptable. I don't want to use the words and saying that we will go to court, but most certainly, I'm waiting now for this final report of the military ombud, and if required, it must be referred to the executive and the president as the commander-in-chief. He must then give us an explanation, or there must be an independent board of inquiry into what is happening between the minister and the chief of the SANDF and his generals. If that doesn't work, we have to make changes, because we need a discipline and a progressive defence force, and not one that is just a laughing stock of the public. The public is not the enemy. The minister must bring back, and the commander-in-chief must bring back the discipline and people to lead the organization and the defence force so that we can protect our citizens and the integrity of South Africa.
DA Member of Parliament Kobus Marais, thank you so much for speaking to us on Upfront.